Hello and welcome to everyone out there. Amavi Talk here. Let's look at something that is sort of not going on right now, but soon could be going on right now. So many of you out there, boys and girls, you are participants in sports. You maybe play a different types of activities, but you may play sports like football, basketball. Of course, you have tennis, swimming, golf, track, different things of that nature. However, you have not been able to play a lot of those sports due to the recent challenge in the pandemic we are dealing with right now. But as you look back and get back into sports, which probably will soon happen, I want you to look at sports in a different type of way, because sports is not just an activity. It can actually be considered a way of life. And what I mean by that is that sports brings about a lot of life lessons that you would not get otherwise. Now, you can get them other places, but sports is one of the best places to learn a lot about your character, teaches you a lot about humility, teaches you about responsibility, and a lot of other things. So for today, our lesson for today, we are going to look at a variety of different sports and give you the life lesson that goes along with that. So for today, our lesson is sports is life. And that's going to be our focus for today, because there are a few key sports we are going to focus on, and we're going to talk about the lesson that is associated with that and look through all of these different things and make sure and get a great and exciting lesson out of that. So let's start off with our first sport. And now understand, we're going to look through about 5 or 6 different sports. Some of the characteristics that I'm giving per sport can carry over to other sports as well. But I wanted to focus on one key factor per sport to sort of give you different areas of life that you can look at when you are playing these different sports, and see how there can be a lot of life lessons associated with it. So, but know that there are many more that go with each of the sports that are listed. So we're going to start off with our first one is basketball. Obviously, good old round ball. It's a very popular sport in our culture right now. And basketball, there are so many different lessons you can pick up out of that. So we have our basketball here. And for basketball, the lesson we want to focus on is teamwork. Now, as you know, in the sport of basketball, there are five people on the court at any given time on each team. So there are 5 offense, 5 on defense. But you got to understand, when there's 5 guys on the court, it's going to take 5 guys, 5 girls working together to be able to come out with a successful outcome. There are times when one team may have a better player than the other, or collectively there may be more talent on one team than another. But there are times when teams that are less talented can beat teams that are more talented, because the other team is willing to move the basketball, willing to play defense, willing to sacrifice herself, do what is needed for the team so the team can come away with a win. So for basketball, teamwork is going to be our key factor. Our next sport is football. That season is coming up. It's looking like, for the most part, we are going to have college and NFL football, and probably high school football as well. For some of you who are playing Pop Warner and different things of that nature, in football, we want to look at a life lesson called adapting. And basically what adapting is willing to change course. Okay, so in football, when you are going through and you have a game plan and you have a particular play you are about to run, that is what you have called for that particular situation. However, situations change, and they have in football what's called an audible. So you'll go to the line and you'll have a play call. You may see something on the other side of the field, whether you're on offense or on defense, and you will call what is called an audible, meaning you will change the play in the midst of the game, during that particular snap, during that particular series. You will call an audible, and you will change the play on the spot to counter what the other team is doing. So in life lessons with football, adaptability is going to be something that you want to look at, because in life, being able to be flexible and adaptable is something that's always going to be able to take you far in life, because, you know, life happens every day, and it's going to cause you to change your initial course at times and be able to do some different actions to counter what life is happening. Because, you know, I mean, look at the current situation we're in right now. Somebody, you know, with a business, somebody with a particular job, some different things are going on, and they have had to adapt to the current situations that are going to cause them to maybe have to look into another profession, look at different ways of getting income, or for those whose business is still up, maybe new ways to be able to conduct that business. So in football, adapting and adaptability is going to be a key factor in moving forward with our lives. Our next sport is track. Obviously, you know, track and field, that is also a spring sport. It's also an Olympic sport. With track, our focus is going to be responsibility. The reason why I chose responsibility is because for the most part, there are some team aspects to track. You have your relays that are going to require 4 people to be able to do those relays. But for the most part, track has a lot of individualization to it. It's going to have a lot of things where you're competing against others from another team. So even though you're a part of a team, you'll also be competing you against other people in the other lanes. So when you look at responsibility, is because it's you versus other people, there's no one else to look to whenever the results happen. So if you do or do not do well, it's your responsibility to look at yourself. You have to deal with the idea of facing that challenge alone. So you are out there, it's you and other people on the track, it's you in your lane, it's you on the deck to be able to take care of that. So in life, responsibility is huge. Responsibility, you know, getting your homework turned in on time, that is your responsibility. Being to class on time, that is your responsibility. Coming to practice when you're supposed to. Coach says practice at 4, you show up later, or you're doing some other things and preventing yourself from getting to practice on time, that is your responsibility. So track does give you that level of responsibility to be able to focus and know that you have to take care of your business to be able to get the outcome that you are looking for in that sport. So that's track with responsibility. Soccer. I know a lot of you boys and girls play soccer. There's a lot of leagues with soccer across the world. Very, very popular sport with soccer. So when you look at soccer, our key life point for this one is going to be stamina. Now stamina, you can also use the word endurance for that. Endurance means to be able to push longer and push harder when you need to do that most. And the reason why we chose stamina is, in case you didn't know, soccer is a very long sport. And really and truly what I mean is that there are 2 45-minute halves. The clock starts and it continues to go on, meaning for 45 minutes straight, for the most part, you continue to run, you continue to engage, you continue to go for a goal, you continue to try to prevent others from getting a goal. You are continuously pushing the entire time to get a goal or prevent a goal the entire time. So how is this a life lesson? And stamina in life, you got to keep pursuing. You got to keep persistent. You know, you have a goal set out there. You want to keep pushing on and getting that goal. You want to continue to push on and achieve something in every area of life, whether it's personal, whether it's professional, whether it's business, whether it's social. You have a particular goal in mind. And when different things come up, when someone's trying to prevent you from getting a goal, prevent you from achieving certain things, you have to have the stamina to continue on and just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until you continue to make progress and ultimately reach your goal or make a goal like you do in soccer. So stamina is the life lessons that you get from the sport of soccer. Our next sport is volleyball. So for all you out there who are participating in volleyball, in that sport, our life lesson is going to be communication. Now, there are a number of people on the court at the same time. The ball is served over the net. A team receives it, boom, and they set it up. And there's a lot of moving places around. So usually there'll be a young person in the back who is either somewhere on the back line or a libero position or something of that sort. And they will call out plays. They will call out and they'll shift around. So the ball is volleyed. the next thing you know, there's some setters, there's different movable parts or whatever. It is a lot of communication going on the court because the ball is being set over here. There's plays being ran. There are different people moving in different spots, but there's usually someone on the court, multiple people on the court who are communicating with each other saying, okay, we're going to shift this person over here. All right, we're going to move back over here. And while that's going on the offensive side, the defensive side is adjusting to what the offense is doing. So there's communication on the other side to know where to set up your blockers, where to set up your person who's going to receive the spike and try to get a dig. There's different things going on with that. So communication is very, very, very key. Communication is very key, whether you're running a company, whether you're running a sports team, whether you are dealing with things at your home and your personal life. Communication is going to be the key to be able to pushing forward and make things happen within the dynamics of human interaction. So communicating, letting people know, what your intentions are, letting people, getting people all on the same page in a company of the goals. That's why people meet. That's why people come together and share thoughts and ideas, because communication is a very, very key part of life. In fact, it is one of the most important parts of life as far as making sure that everyone has what they need to be able to succeed. And the last sport we will focus on is, oh yes, the baseball. Baseball is a huge, they call it America's pastime. So our baseball is here. It's going to be the last sport we focus on for today. And baseball, the life lesson is patience. Oh, if you know anything about baseball, it's a very long game. Some people call it a very slow game. It's only because the action, it takes a long time to get things set up. You have a pitcher out there, you have somebody at the plate, and a pitch comes down, and you as a batter have to have the patience to wait on the pitch you're looking for. You have to wait on the pitch you are looking for. The pitcher, once the ball is thrown back to him, he's sitting on the mound, and he has to wait for his catcher to give him the signal of what pitch to throw. So there's a lot of waiting in between time. There's a little bit of wait between innings. People in the outfield are waiting for a play to happen. So you have to have a lot of patience. You have to have a lot of patience to be able to play baseball, whether it's on the offensive or on the defensive side. It's the patience to be able to take advantage of the opportunity that's before you. So in life, patience, my goodness. So you have a goal you have set, and it will take multiple steps to reach a certain amount of goals. Now, there's some goals that are short term, there's some goals that are long term. But either way, there are going to be steps to reaching that goal. You will need a lot of patience to be able to achieve the goals you want out of life. There will be a lot of time where you're pushing through and trying to figure this thing out, trying to figure out life and trying to make some things happen. So life and patience. Life and sport is our lesson, part of I Am More Than Enough. Thank you for tuning in to this video. Hopefully you get a chance to look through these different aspects and work through these different things in your life. And we'll be back and see you soon. And remember, keep showing up on the field of life. Thank you much.